Yeah, so I'm like a deal machine fiend. If I'm out anywhere, I'm turning on the app. Just I'm seeing houses everywhere. So I'm always on deal machine every day. But no, I did have like a routine as far as going out in the morning, 8 to 12, getting as many houses as I can. Coming back home from 1 to 3, I'm skip tracing and cold calling and setting up campaigns. So yeah, I had a whole routine.
So excited to have you here today. If you could just quickly introduce yourself and tell us what market you're in.
My name is Demetrius Wyatt, and I am in the Memphis market.
Ooh, lovely. Awesome. So, how long have you been doing real estate investing?
Wow, a couple years now. I got in. Actually, my first market was in Texas. I recently moved here to Mississippi, Memphis area. I started out in Texas
Oh,
2 years
wow.
ago.
We're in Texas.
San Antonio.
Okay, so did you do what
That's
kind
when
of
I
invest?
that's when I was first introduced to wholesaling in San Antonio.
Oh, okay, cool. And so then you moved to Memphis. And so what kind of investing are do you do? Do you do all of it? Do you do wholesaling?
Just a wholesaling right now.
Okay, cool.
Crazy story how I got into it, but yes, just wholesaling right now.
All right, tell us all about it. I want to hear the crazy story.
So uh, I was working for the post office, and this guy named Caleb, I'll never forget him. He came and asked me about giving him some addresses that were vacant along my route. While I was delivering mail. I'm like, why? And he got to explaining this whole I can buy houses and the whole spiel. And I said, okay. And he gave me his name and number. And I said, okay, if I see some vacant houses along my route, I'll call you. But I never called him. But I went home and did a deep dive into wholesaling, what he was talking about, and I've been hooked ever since. It's
Oh
crazy.
my gosh. That's so nuts.
Yes.
And do you still work for USPS?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
But you were like, I love that you just like dove in. You're like, I know these houses. You see these houses every day. So what then happened? Like what were the next steps for you then?
Uh, just a lot of YouTube videos, getting acclimated with Flip Man and Max. I mean, all the players, and then Tony the closer came up, and that's how I actually got into Deal Machine, because he used to work with you all years ago, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I got started with Deal Machine.
Oh, I love that. So tell me what could you walk us through how many deals have you done so far?
S- with Deal First four with Deal Machine,
Oh,
um,
nice. And so
and
could you
this
tell us
this is
like what's tell us one of the stories like because I'd love for people to know like from start to finish kind of how a deal happened using Deal Machine.
my first. All my Deal Machine deals have come from postcards actually, and I didn't have any faith in the postcards at first because I was sending out so many and I wasn't getting any kind of traction. I'm like, wow, I'm just sending out cards here, nobody getting return to senders. Um, but yeah, my first deal, yeah, it was it was a return to sender postcard, and I just cold called the guy. I was just going down all my leads that I had from Deal Machine. I just cold called this one guy, sent a text message actually, and his wife messaged me back like, it's not my house, it's my husband's house. I think he's ready to get rid of it. Let me reach out to him. And so he reached out to me that evening, and yeah, said I'm ready to let this house go. It was a vacant house, boarded up. He said I haven't been over there in 2 years, so yeah, you can have it if you want. And that's how that's how the first deal came. The first deal came off a return to sender. It was like a vacant house and it didn't get to him, so I just cold called that my all my cars that came back.
Oh my gosh. Then you know how many people just throw those away and you like took the effort to actually like skip trace and reach out to them. That's so awesome. And that leads to a deal. How much did you make on that deal?
That was 5,000. 5,000.
That is a good chunk of
And
change.
what's crazy about it is because I when he asked me for an offer, I'm brand new. I didn't know anything. I mean, I watched all the videos, but it's different when you're on the spot. So uh, I said, well, he said, "What's your offer?" I'm like, "Well, I haven't seen the house." So um, he said, "But I like an offer." I said, "Well, let me give you. I'll give you 11,000." It was a small house. 11,000. He said, "I'll take 8." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, man. I'm not trying to get over on anybody. I'm just ready to get rid of it. You can have this house for 8,000." So yeah, I wrote the contract up, and that the rest is history.
I am dumbstruck. That is so amazing. Like you say 11, he says 8.
Yes, I'm like, that doesn't happen. I'm like, even all this time that I've been in this, never happened again. So I'm like, well, I don't think this is normal.
But it
But
got
even
you
that deal,
rolling.
that yes, but even that deal went sideways because I had a buyer um, that I signed it over to, and he just dropped off the face of the planet. And I kept trying to reach out to him, and his partner reached out to me and said, "Yeah, we're moving forward. We just need to go over there and check out the house." He had made like I was set to make 4 grand with him. And so what happened was when I turned both contracts into the title company, and I was explaining to the title company what was going on, but the title company was familiar with the buyer. They knew him. They vouched for him. And they said, "Oh, this guy, he does deals with us all the time." I'm like, "Okay." They said, "Well, if he says he's going to close, he's going to close." So okay. Well, the 30 days came and went. I mean, I never heard from this guy again. I'm like, so I can't get another buyer because I already have this one buyer. So I'm like, I have a contract with him. So I didn't hear any more from him. So the contract with my seller expired. And so I had to go back to the seller and talk to him again and tell him that I needed a little more time. And then I found another buyer for the deal.
There's always a nice little lesson in there, right? Like that's so weird though, because if they said that he's like he closes and then you still
Yeah.
have never heard from him again?
No, I mean, I hope he's okay at the time. I mean, I was talking about him in my head. I gave him a good tongue lashing in my head because he held me up. But yeah, it was crazy. But
So
yeah, they
okay,
vouched
so
him.
tell
They
me.
said he closes like 50, 60 deals with us every year. So I'm like, okay, he seems to be legit. I mean, I saw him on social media. He was there, but I'm reaching out to him on social media everywhere. He just never responded back.
Okay, well, at least you found
I
another
hope I
buyer,
hope he's
and
okay.
yes, we do hope that he is all right. So
Yes,
what? Tell me one of the other postcard things. So all of you said all of the deals have come from postcards.
yes, yes.
So tell me,
My
tell me
the
about one of
second
those.
deal, it was a lady reached out to me. She said, you've been sending me postcards every month. I finally just decided to call you." So other people have been calling my house, but I mean, I see this postcard every month. And it was a small house. Again, I met her over there, and she wanted an offer. Um, I knew a little more about making offers and running comps after that first one. So yeah, I gave her a decent offer, and she didn't even argue. And um, yeah, it was weird. She said, I've gotten 5 or 6 postcards from you." So, um, and I really didn't believe the stats when you always say it takes about 7 touches and 8 touches this and 8. I'm like, come on, this is not it's not gonna work. But yet, it seems to work. It seems to work. So I have no more arguments now. It works. Postcards definitely work.
All right. Well, so what? So do you know what number postcard that was that she was calling off of? That how long you had been mailing her for?
I don't. I She told me it was about
Okay.
6 or 7. I sent her 5 or 6 postcards, so she was getting them every month. 'Cause I put them on a 30-day uh,
Okay,
campaign.
that's so awesome. So she was just like, I've just decided you have been persistent. I
Yes,
will, I will call you back. That's
yes.
awesome. So what, overall, I won't make you go through all of the deals, but what has been your total profit with all 4 of those?
Uh, um, 52,000. I had two. I had two 20 plus, 220K deals that blew my mind. also from
Okay,
postcards.
I lied. I want you to tell us about that. I want to hear about
Uh,
that.
the well, the last one was a 20K deal. That was a postcard. It was a postcard that was going to the lady that it was going to. Her niece happened to be over her house and was going through her mail and found my postcard. And she reached out to me and left me a voicemail. I said, I got your card. I was just telling my sister that we need to sell this house and find one of those we buy houses people. So I saw your card. Give me a call back. So when I heard the voicemail, wow, this is crazy. This postcard thing works. So I reached out to her and I ended up meeting with her aunt. They were moving her to a home, and the house needed a lot of work. So they were looking to let it go. And I found me a
Wow.
great buyer. Man, he was a great guy, great guy. They really wanted the property too. So I made 20K off that deal.
I bet you went to a nice dinner that night. You better have treated
Yeah,
yourself.
no, I haven't treated myself yet. I'm trying to get the business going. So
I love that.
I'll do that once everything is in place.
I got you. So, what does it look like? What does the rest of this year look like for your business? What are the goals you have for that?
Uh, I mean, I don't know. In comparison to some other people, I mean, I think mine are kind of small. I wanted to do like 40K a month is my goal. So I'm
That's huge. That's
yes,
awesome.
yes. So I'm like a deal machine fiend. If I'm out anywhere, I'm turning on the app. Just I'm seeing houses everywhere. So I'm always on deal machine every day. But no, I did have like a routine as far as going out in the morning, 8 to 12, getting as many houses as I can, coming back home from 1 to 3. I'm skip tracing and cold calling and setting up campaigns. So yeah, I had a whole routine.
So, did you? Okay, I'd love to dissect that. So, did you cold call, and then if they like didn't pick up, you would start sending them postcards? Like, how did that process
So
work?
I sent out text messages first. If they don't respond by text, then I'll call. And if I don't reach them on the phone, yeah, then I'll send out postcards.
And what is your? Do you mind me asking which postcard you use, or did you create your own?
Uh, I was using the default postcard at first, but now I've created my own. Um, I don't think I have any laying around here, but no, I've kind of redid the postcard uh, to fit my how I like it. It's amazing that you all have
I
all
love
these
it.
all the different templates to use. So yeah, but I started out with the default template.
Okay, cool. And did you have like your picture or logo or
No,
anything else on there?
no, mm-mm.
Just the picture of the
Yes,
house
it's great.
catches
It's
their
crazy.
attention.
Yes. Yeah, I have a big. The default has a small picture. I have a bigger picture now. I mean, I've gotten an earful about taking a picture of their home, and I'm invading the privacy. And yeah, I've gotten those calls too.
So what would you I've definitely heard people say they've gotten calls like that. What is your response usually when they say that?
It's just a marketing tactic. That's all. I mean, it's I'm not meant to invade on your privacy, but it's just get your attention. Obviously, it got your attention because you called me, and so I kind of try to leave the conversation with that.
Okay, to people who are saying they don't want to get those calls, it will lead to a deal. Just keep
Yes,
persisting.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. You have to. You have to. Um, I, I, I,
And are you
I was working deal
Oh, go
machine
ahead,
like
sorry.
I would work a job, but I don't like it's like I would go. I can if somebody can go to the job for 8 hours, you can do this wholesaling thing for 8 hours. So I broke it down to I will go out from 8 to 12, or 9 to 1, and do 4 hours out in the field and 4 hours at home.
And how would you figure out what areas, since especially you're in a new market, how would you figure out where you wanted to drive? Or would you just start
I just
driving?
started driving. Um, uh, yeah, I just started driving, and it's amazing that even all this time that I've been driving, I still find new areas that I haven't hit yet, which is insane. Because I'm in Memphis, but I'm like right on the border of Mississippi, so I kind of do Mississippi and Memphis. area.
Oh, that's so cool. And plus, I think, I mean, has that helped you kind of acclimate yourself to the new market you're in
Yes,
then too, since you're
yes,
driving around everywhere?
absolutely, absolutely. I actually had to incorporate Lyft. I was driving Lyft too. I'm like, well, as long as I'm driving around and picking people up, those people are bringing me to different neighborhoods. So that's how I end up seeing the new neighborhoods that I hadn't been in. And so I have a second phone with the Deal Machine app where I'm tapping addresses as I'm driving. Not the safest
Oh
thing,
my
but yes,
gosh.
is yeah,
You're just so efficient though. You got it going on. You've got like the
yeah,
one here, and plus,
yes.
like, have you been able to talk to any other have you ever thought of getting other Lyft drivers to like help and like drive with you or to be on your team or something like
No,
that?
so I have a couple of friends that I've introduced into have been introduced to wholesaling, and I tried the whole driving for me, and they wanted to get into essentially what will drive. So like, um, but that didn't work out because it wasn't, you know, they weren't consistent. It wasn't a set thing. It's nothing set in stone. That okay, this is what I'm going to pay you. So I didn't. So I haven't really dived into having people drive for me yet.
And I appreciate you coming on here and talking to us and like telling us all of this because it's so exciting to see. Because how long have you been with Deal Machine?
Uh, I started with Deal Machine when I was in Texas. So I want to say maybe 2 years. 2 years now.
Yeah, you're an
Yeah.
OG Deal Machine.
Yeah, and
Like,
you all
this is my
changed it up on
favorite.
me. I was like, wow, with the whole new structure and